Welcome, everyone. Hey, thanks for joining us on RiverCity-Media. Today, we're a lot of different places, and we have a very special show for you tonight. One of my most favorite people in the whole world. Can you hear me good, Ray?
Yes, sir.
All right. One of my favorite people in the whole world. I want to feel like I was him at 10, but he knows so much more about baseball than I do. We're live on River City Media, River City Media Facebook. We're live on iLogic Media, and also our normal home, Draft for the Upside and Draft for the Upside Facebook. So today is an expanding of our network. You can see, Ray, up in the corner just above you, there's a little logo. You see that RC?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool. That's
with
River
the
City.
dog. With the
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah,
With
that's the logo for the company, man. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, welcome everybody again, and let's just get into this. And Ray, your mom and dad raised you so good. For the next hour, I'm going to give you permission. You don't have to call me sir while we're on the podcast.
Okay.
So you can just call me Randall for the next hour, okay?
Okay.
So Ray is here with me. Ray and I met about a year ago. And one night I was with a show and we were doing a remote. And the next thing I know, I started talking to Ray. And he started quoting baseball facts and streaming baseball facts at me. And I was just so impressed with Ray. He's become my baseball go-to buddy. So let's get you caught up on Ray since his last appearance. Ray, I saw some pictures on Facebook from your mom. So you're catching this year?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm catching. This is my first year catching, so it's really new to me. So, but I've caught on to it pretty quickly. So, hopefully I can put up what I've been doing. Been getting a couple outs there, here and there. So, yeah.
So let's give a shout out to your team and your coaches too.
Yeah.
What's your team's name?
The Chickamauga Cannons. I know that my coach is watching. He told me he was.
That's awesome. And you've been playing with the Cannons. This is your first year with the Cannons?
Second
year. So where did you play last year?
Last year I played with the Cannons.
But I mean, what position did you play?
Oh, what position? I played right.
You played right.
Yeah.
So how do you feel transitioning to catcher was for you? Do you the one thing, I was a catcher many, many years ago, and the one thing I liked about being a catcher, you were in every play because, I mean, every time the ball's pitched, you got to be in the middle of it.
Yeah,
that's fun.
That's what I was going to say. I get a lot more action whenever I'm at catcher instead of right field because, there's a bunch of right-handed hitters. They're going to hit it to left field. So I didn't get many. I think I got like one fly ball last year. That was it.
Wow. So now this year, what's your favorite part of catching?
It's just I think it's throwing out runners. I like throwing out runners because I think like earlier in the year we had a tournament and we won that tournament, by the way. But I picked off a runner at third whenever he was trying to get back to the bag, and then I threw a runner out at second. But yeah.
Our buddy Brandon Chain, a friend of mine, said to tell you, go Cubs.
Yeah.
So
it's a bunch of Cubs stuff here.
How did you learn how to throw? I mean, do you throw from the ear like the big leaguers, or I mean, was it a hard adjustment to go from right field to throwing out runners?
Yeah, it was a different experience. I think it's just the concept of like you're not used to throwing the ball because you don't get many balls. So
right.
It transitioned pretty fastly. So it transitions it like changed pretty fastly.
So how are you doing at the plate so far this year?
Haven't really got any good pitches to hit. I have walked a lot, but I haven't really got many pitches to hit. But I do have an inside the park home run though, so that's good.
Well, tell us about that a little bit.
So I think I hit it to left field, It was I used one of my teammates' bats, so that's probably why it went far. But I think I hit it down the line, and I got all the way to the plate. And then I
Really?
got to pitch a little bit, but I think this was just practice because like it was a tournament.
So you got to pitch a little bit. What'd you think of pitching?
Well, I did pitching at practice, they just told me to just use the mechanics instead of just throwing really hard because you need to know where the mechanics are.
Right.
So yeah, but I got a lot of strikes. They kind of hit the corner though. So
Isn't that amazing? You playing 9 and 10 baseball, and here in a minute we're going to talk about big leaguers. And the number one thing you got to do at any level is throw strikes, right?
yeah,
So anyway, I really enjoy it. And I tell you what, before the year is over, we'll get down there and maybe put some film up of you playing and see if everybody can get a grasp of how a 10-year-old catches and throws. And I'm really excited. I think catching is a great position, and it's great as you grow through baseball because not every kid wants to catch.
yeah. Other than me, I have a teammate named Camden. He did catch, but they wanted me to catch because like no one else really could. So yeah, it's not that people didn't want to; they just couldn't.
Right. It's tough. It's not the easiest thing to do. Have you took any foul tips yet?
Um, no.
Okay. Well, I know
Good.
your mom will be excited the first time you take a hard foul tip. So make sure you take care of yourself behind the plate. And,
Yeah.
and you are a sensation. I can't tell you. This is more people than we've ever had on watching a video so far, right? So do you want to say hi to everybody out there or anybody in
Hello.
particular? Uh,
Um, I know my coach is out there. I think some of my teammates are watching as well. So hello.
that's awesome. That's awesome. It's great to have teammates. Well, all right. We've talked enough of 9 and 10-year-old baseball. Now
Let me
it's
show you
time.
two. Let me show you two things. Okay.
Okay, show us to
So
them.
so the first tournament that we won, we got a ring. And here, this is what
Oh,
it looks
yeah. I
like.
want to see that.
It's right there.
That's awesome.
And I got the game ball because I played a new position.
Cool.
Here,
That
see?
that is awesome.
Yeah,
I
it
saw the
says.
pictures that your mom had posted. That was a big tournament, big
Yeah,
win
that
for
was.
your team.
Yeah, we played the other Chickamauga team. I think it was the Chickamauga Reds, but they were wearing blue. I didn't make sense to me.
I'm a little confused by that one too.
Yeah.
Well, Ray, headed into baseball season, headed into the major league season. We're in spring training baseball. Are you excited about baseball getting started?
Of course
And
I am. I mean, like last year, we only had a 60-game schedule, so it was kind of. But you could see some crazy numbers because it's only a 60-game schedule. But now it's an entire. I think it's a 162 again.
it is. And do you think that 60? And this is a question I had for you. Last year, we saw like the Marlins finish in the playoffs with that 60-game schedule. I don't think we'll see a big, huge surprise going back to 162, and that's got to be tough. We played a short season last year, short off season, and the guys are going to play 162 games. That's going to be a real tough task for them, don't you think?
Yeah, it's gonna. I heard that Trevor Bauer he's gonna be pitching 1 out of 4 days
Yeah,
instead of 1 out of 5. So that's gonna be even tougher
yeah.
on
I
him.
mean, he could start like 40 games. That's unheard of in
Yeah,
today's baseball.
yeah. I think the max games you can pitch is 35 games.
That's about as much as I've seen anybody throw, and that's back when I was your age, sometimes pitchers the rotation would be every 4 days, but now it's gotten to be that pitchers take longer and longer in between starts. Do you think? I mean, let's start there. What do you think about Trevor Bauer to the Dodgers? Is that
Um, it was. I think it was one of the biggest deals that I've ever seen, but it was only like a 2 or 3 year deal. But
short deal, big money?
yeah, he got like 100 million something dollars. That was a lot, especially for 3 years.
Yeah. Well, what do
But
you think of?
but it is worth it because like he won the Cy Young last year, and he can kind of show that he could be good in the regular season as well.
Does that make the Dodgers the favorite because they lost nobody and added Trevor Bauer? You got to think early on that they're probably the number one team out west, and we'll start there with our preview. So let's just go out west, and I think we've got several teams. I think there's two teams out west, Ray, and we can talk about those two teams.
I know who those two teams are.
Well, bring it to us. Talk about them.
Dodgers and Padres.
All right, let's start with the Padres.
All right, Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr. He's electric. Okay, he can make like some of the craziest plays I've ever seen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he can do some of the best backflips, by the way.
Do you like his backflips?
Backflips, yeah. He did that against the Cardinals. It was really cool.
Do you think? Let's talk about it. They got Tatis,
Machado,
and they traded with your Cubs to get you
for
Darvish.
you, Darvish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really sad whenever I saw that. I was like, why'd you do that?
Do you think Q Darvish is going to help the Padres? Last year, during the playoff stretch, the Padres have Paddock and that guy's on the front end of the rotation, but it feels like they really needed a Darvish to make that rotation a little better.
And they got a Snell.
And Blake Snell from Tampa.
Yes.
So that's really a remake of that rotation. Do you think Darvish or Snell makes the bigger impact for the Padres?
Ooh, that's tough.
That's the reason. That's the reason you're the River City expert on baseball, Ray.
Yu Darvish was a Cy Young contender in 2020.
Right.
I think Blake Snell. I think he had like a 4-year right though. But I mean, we've seen Blake Snell win the Cy Young. Like he wasn't a contender; he won it. So.
And he was so good for the Rays down the stretch that as much as everybody's talked about Hugh Darvish, I think Snell may be is just as valuable to the Padres as Darvish.
Yeah.
And you might see Snell be the guy that's the I think Darvish will be the one and probably Snell the two. Is that the way you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it depends if they're facing a lot of lefties or righties. Because like you got Darvish, that's a righty, but you got Snell, that's a lefty. So it just depends what kind of offense that they're facing. Like, say they somehow face like the Yankees, like they have a bunch of right-handed hitters.
Right.
You'd probably throw Darvish, but if you go against a left-handed offense, you probably want to throw Snell.
Right. That's a good point. Then being out west with the Dodgers, they've got a lot of right-handed power. I mean, they got Bellinger, Turner. So to give everyone
Bellinger's a lefty.
Then Turner and Betts. Betts is a switch hitter, correct?
No, he's a righty.
Righty. So you know more than me, buddy. That's the reason I'm depending on you. So the odds right now are the Dodgers are the favorite, the Padres the second favorite, and they're both. I mean, they're both considered. Some sites have the Padres, but for the majority, it's the Dodgers. But before we get done out there, the Giants, the Rockies, and the Diamondbacks, the other three teams out there, is there any of those teams that's got any players that you really like?
Well, I was gonna say Nolan Arenado, but he got traded to the Cardinals.
Yeah,
plus $50 million. That trade was nuts.
What do you think of Trevor Stories? in
Yeah,
Colorado.
he's gonna be in my eyes. I think he's gonna be one of the best shortstops in the league, especially playing in Coors Field. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a really high offensive playing field. So he's probably gonna, just because of that high elevation, he's probably gonna hit a little bit more home runs than normal stadiums.
Well,
So
and I wanted to ask you about one player from San Francisco. Have you seen Mike Yastrzemski play?
yeah, he's really good. Yeah, but I got like really confused why they still keep on like calling him his grandfather, because Carl Yastrzemski played for the Boston Red Sox.
Yes.
Yeah, he needs to be known by Mike Yastrzemski.
Right. I was when I was your age, Carl was playing for the Boston Red Sox. So it's kind of crazy now to see his grandson playing. Now the Dodgers, of course, won last year. The Padres have not won a division since 2006, 15 years. So I'm going to go and let's see if we agree. I still think the Dodgers are the team to beat out there. The Padres second. What about you, Ray?
I'm thinking the same thing.
Okay. And the other three teams, do you prefer any of the other three over each other? Because I kind of see them as a group there.
Yeah, I kind of see them as a group there, but with the standings, how they work, because like if there was like a three-way tie, they'd probably have to play at 163. But um, I think the Giants come in third,
Okay.
Diamondbacks come in fourth, and then Rockies fifth.
So, believe it or not, I picked it exactly the same way you did. I do think the Rockies are obviously trying to sell off some of their team to start rebuilding with the trade of Arredondo to the Cardinals. But all right, so we agree out there. Dodgers win. Do you think the Padres make the playoff as a wild card?
Yes.
Me too. All right, let's go to your favorite division. I'm sure, and but maybe the worst division this year in the
Yes,
National League.
that's my opinion.
So let's start there.
Okay.
Outside of, I guess the Cardinals are a clear favorite. Is there anyone else that can contend over there?
Yeah, I think it's the Brewers, honestly, because they got Yelich. He's a really good hitter, and
Right.
then you got that good pitching. You got Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns, Devin Williams. I think it's the Brewers that win, and then the Cardinals miss out on the playoffs.
So you think the Brewers win the division and the Cardinals mix? So what is it? So I'm going to give you my opinion and kind of run past there. And I think you hit what I was thinking. The Brewers just have so much more pitching than the Cardinals. And, Dakota Hudson, that's local, is out the year with Tommy John surgery.
Yeah,
And to me, it doesn't seem like the Cardinals have just as enough in the staff
and
to do it. And in the pen for sure.
yeah,
All right. Ray looking for dropped. Was that your championship ring you dropped?
yeah.
Uh,
Oh
wow.
boy, that's
All right.
heavy.
So, do you think Yelich has a bounce back year after kind of slumping last year?
Yeah. The reason he had like a bad season is because I looked on like Baseball Reference on Christian Yelich, and it said he hit the ball very hard, but he just hit it right to a glove. So
Yeah, he definitely struggled at times last year, but I mean, that shortened season really, it was a different season. I'm a Braves fan, and we talked when we did a show together before about how the Braves just kind of choked at the end of the year. So I think it was just a different year, and I think Yelich has a huge bounce back year too.
yeah, he's shown he can really hit, because 18 and 19, he won the MVP in 18. Arguably could have won it in 19. So yeah, he's gonna have a bounce back season.
So let me throw one name in just to bring our audience up to date. The Cardinals lost Kylie Wong to the Brewers, and the Brewers now have signed Kylie Wong. Do you know, Ray, that Wong has hit more home runs in the Brewer Stadium, only playing 12 games a year there, than he did in the Cardinal Stadium, playing 82 games a year. So that could be something that we don't think of as fans. He went there because sometimes you just see the ball better. Yeah, you just see the ball better in certain stadiums.
Yeah. I watched a video on YouTube,
Yep.
and it said that he was a way better road hitter than a home hitter.
Yep.
Yeah, it said Colton Wong wasn't that good in Busch Stadium.
Yeah, he struggled in Busch Stadium. Absolutely. So how about your Cubs? Is it just a year? And we'll get more into the Cubs later, but is the Cubs this year just a year to get? I mean, they traded Darvish. They still have a ton of talent there, but it just feels like they're trying to get younger and kind of break up that team and start over. Is that how you see it?
I'm seeing it that way too, because obviously they traded Darvish, which I mean, like, because like I think he's like in his 30s. So
That's not old, Ray. Let me just go ahead and tell you now. That's not old.
I know, but they're trying to get a little younger.
Yeah,
like you
I'm
said.
old. Yeah. So, and that was funny when I sent you the thing to your mom about picking a legend of the game, and we'll go through that in a minute. I expect you to pick somebody that had retired just the last couple of years. I was really shocked, and we'll talk about him later. You picked somebody that's my age, and Ryan Sandberger, former Cub. But yeah, I do think the Cubs want to get younger. Do you think, I want to ask you one question here about the Cubs. Do you still think Chris Bryant is a superstar player?
Yes. Yeah, because like you said, the 2020 season, it was shortened, and he improved on defense though. That's good. But
Absolutely.
you said that like the shortened season, it kind of threw players off. So that's why I think Bryant's gonna have a bounce back season, because we've seen what he's done in the past.
So the other two teams in that division, of course, are the Reds, who lost Trevor Bauer. The Reds still a pretty good baseball team.
Yeah.
Not great, but I got to think Trevor Bauer hurts them.
Yeah. They got Sonny Gray, which is a really good pitcher. You got Mike Moustakas, Nick Castellanos, and Eugenio Suarez. Who else? Yeah, those are some pretty good power bats that they have.
Well, and you just mentioned one of them. I like Castillo and Gray. That's two good pitchers at the front of their rotation.
No, Castellanos is a hitter.
No, Castillo.
Oh, Castillo. Okay.
Yeah.
Castillo.
Yeah. Hey, you got to watch out for the Southern accent. It'll get you sometimes. And then the Brewers the Pirates they're still the Pirates, but they got a lot of great young talent in the minor leagues.
I know, but right now they're just dead.
Absolutely. But they have, and just to mention, the one player that I think we'll talk about him later when we go over it, Brian
Hayes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Brian Hayes.
He was really good in 2020. I know he only played 42 games, but he had a 202 OPS plus, which that basically means on base plus slugging, and it adjusts for ballpark average and all that. And then 100 is average. So he's basically 102% better than the average hitter. So that's really good.
And plus, he's going to be. You got so many people, the Evans family, the Stratford family. Everybody's a Ray fan today, buddy. I think Brian Hayes may win the National League Rookie of the Year, but we'll talk about that later. But really, the Cubs are. I mean, the Pirates are probably a year away. The Cubs. We'll see what the Cubs do in the offseason. I still think the Cubs could make a few moves and be a contender by 2022. So,
yeah.
So we picking the division. We're disagreeing. I'm going Cardinals. Brewers, and you're going Brewers, Cardinals, right?
Yeah, but the Cardinals missed out on the playoffs.
Missed the playoffs. All right. So I'm going to consume that the next wild card is going to come out of the next division,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
National League East, and boy, is it loaded.
I know.
I mean, the poor Miami Marlins made the playoffs last year and are picked to finish dead last in the East.
Yeah.
So who do you like in the East? And I mean, to me, it looks like Mets and Braves clearly the best two teams.
Yeah, I went with the Braves in first place, and then the Mets picking a wild card spot.
Well, what was your thinking there? Was it more about the Braves lineup and so much power with Acuna and Freeman and
Yeah, that's what I thought. The Mets, they have a lot. They have James McCann. They signed in the offseason. They got Pete Alonso. Let's see who did they? They got Francisco Lindor. They
Carlos
have
Carrasco?
Carlos Carrasco, but he did get injured because
Yeah.
I think he shattered his elbow.
And Jacob deGrom, who is
Jacob deGrom.
is he the best pitcher in baseball?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go down to Atlanta, my favorite team.
Yeah.
And I think the Braves they signed Charlie Morton and
Yeah.
they signed Drew Smiley, and then they've got Ian Anderson coming back. They've got Max Fried coming back, and Soroka will be back at some point during the year.
Yeah, because he torn his Achilles.
Yeah, he did. Which one of those young pitchers do you like the best, Fried, Anderson, or Soroka?
Oh, that's really hard.
I'll give you my answer, and then you can go from there. I like Anderson just because he's so long and lean, and it seems like he throws so easy that he's going to have a long career.
Yeah. That's hard. We've only seen one season out of Ian Anderson,
Right.
and it was that 60-game schedule. So, they got Max Fried.
Who's done it over a 2-year period.
Yeah, and then you got Mike Soroka, who I think is going to be really good in 2021.
I don't think you can go wrong there. If you're going Soroka, I think I'm not going to disagree. I debate it between Anderson and Soroka myself.
Yeah.
All right, so we agree then. Braves and the Mets make the playoffs.
Yes.
So in the wild card, we have the Padres and the Mets.
Oh, God. That's hard.
That's hard. And it's a one-game series, so you really can't predict it. I mean, it's hard to say. So we'll just call it a coin toss. And then
I'll think about this one.
Okay,
So
well, let's go.
Who are they gonna start? So the Mets are gonna start DeGrom. They'll probably, and then the Padres will probably start Snell.
Yeah, and that one game, who do you like?
Just because they have Jacob deGrom, who's the best pitcher in baseball, I think the Mets are moving on.
All right, I'll agree with you. So let's then that would probably give us the Mets and the Dodgers.
Mets and the Dodgers.
If we assume the Dodgers have the best record in baseball, Mets and Dodgers.
So this is the first game they're going to be playing. So who are the Dodgers going to start? Because they have so many arms.
I think in a playoff series they go to Clayton Kershaw first. Or
not Kershaw. He's not really good in the postseason. So I'd probably go Trevor Bauer.
You go Bauer over Walker Buehler?
Just because Bauer has more experience, I'd probably go Bauer.
Okay. So at the end of it, after 7 games, who's the one standing?
No, 5.
5? After 5 games, who's standing?
I'm saying the Dodgers. The Dodgers have that very strong starting 5. They have a lot of strong They have a really strong bullpen. I mean, they've got
Okay.
6 and 7 starters in the bullpen, so that's disgusting.
Their bullpen is ridiculous.
So yeah, I'm probably going to Dodgers there.
And what I think will be a great matchup would be the Braves and the Brewers.
The Braves and the Brewers.
Yeah.
Just because that entire NL Central isn't that, it isn't really that strong, and the Braves just have so many people. They have Acuna, they have Freeman, they got Pache. He's a really talented prospect.
Yeah.
They have Swanson, Riley. I mean, they have so many power bats, and Freeman just won the MVP last season, so he's going to be good. And they're probably going to be starting. Who do you think is going to start number one?
I would think Soroka would start number one if he was healthy.
Okay, so yeah, because he's known to be.
Yeah.
So this one, they're probably going to be Brewers are probably going to be starting Corbin Burns. Yeah. Braves.
Braves in a tough one. And then we'll wrap up the National League and we'll real fast talk about the winners of the awards. Dodgers and the Braves in a rematch in the National League Championship. I'll go ahead and say it, even though I'm a Braves fan. I think you got to beat the Dodgers, and I don't know if the Braves have enough pitching to beat the Dodgers. How about you, Ray?
I'm going to say the Dodgers as well. In seven games,
yeah,
I'm probably saying the Dodgers.
All right. Well, we'll get to the American League real fast. Who do you like for your MVP? Are you going Yelich for the MVP or in the National League?
National League. It's tough. I am going to go with. Let me think about this one. I didn't. Acuna.
Well, strangely enough, I picked Acuna too. For the Cy Young, I'll go first on the Cy Young. I went Jacob deGrom.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. And Rookie of the Year, do you have any choice, or have we kind of already said it's going to be Brian Hayes?
Let me think. Well, this is National League, so I'll go Hayes.
All right. So let's run over to the American League. Now, do you like the designated hitter, Ray?
Yeah, I feel like it should be universal.
Do you?
Yeah, because you got Marcell Ozuna in the Braves system, and he's not really the best fielder. He's a really good hitter, though, so he could, if there was still designated hitters, universal, he could probably be a designated hitter.
I didn't think I would like it till last year, and then seeing it last year being universal, I have to admit I enjoyed watching it. And I agree. I think it should be universal at this point. Yeah. Nobody wants to see Jacob deGrom swing a bat.
Yeah.
All right, American League West. We have the Astros, the Angels, the Athletics, the Mariners, and the Rangers out there. What are you thinking on the American League West?
Okay, I'm going, and I do not want to say this, but the Houston Astros are going to win it.
The trash can bangers is what you called them last year. You can say it.
And I'm not going to say it. They said they were clean in 2019, so.
Oh, well, let's hope they are, because I hope they are. I strangely like the Oakland A's, and I just like the A's. They had some playoff experience last year, but I do have the Astros making the playoffs. I think out west, and we're not even talking about the best player in baseball, in my opinion, is Mike Trout with the Angels,
yes.
and
yeah,
we're not even considering the Angels in the playoff race.
Yeah, because I mean, other than Dylan Bundy, they don't really have that much pitching.
Yeah, I think that's where they struggle too. The Mariners and the Rangers, do you see anything there, or are they still times away?
Times away. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking Astros make the playoffs, but then the A's, they're they're not making it just because like there's so many good wild card teams.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
And I do think the rookie of the year will come out of the Mariners, and I always mispronounce his name. It's Clinic, Jared
Jared
Clinic.
Clinic.
Yeah, I think he's got a chance to win the American League Rookie of the Year. So, have you saw him play yet?
Yeah, I've seen him play. Kind of reminds me of Grady Sizemore a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, good comparison. All right, so and I think the next division is
Stacked.
stacked, and from somehow I don't know how it is stacked. The L.A. Central, White Sox, the Indians, the Tigers, the Royals, and the Twins.
Boy.
I mean, I really was not ready for the L.A. Central to be so good. Let's start with the White Sox, though. I love the White Sox with all that young talent.
Yes.
I
Yes.
really love Lewis Roberts, one of my
Yes.
favorite players. Who do you like on the White Sox?
I really like Robert.
Okay.
He does strike out a lot though. That's his problem.
Do you think Tim Anderson is an elite shortstop? Because he's the guy no one ever talks about, and to me, he's a great shortstop for the White
Yeah,
Sox.
I think he is. I mean, he's got 20 home run pop probably, and
if not more.
if not more, and he can sometimes play a pretty good defense.
So the odds have the White Sox as the favorite, followed closely behind the Twins and the Indians. In my head, the Indians are maybe still a year away, even though I love Jose Ramirez. But that trade of
Francisco
uh,
Lindor
Francisco Lindor really makes me kind of step
and
back.
Carlos Carrasco.
Yeah, a little bit on the Indians. So I'm thinking it's the White Sox year. Why don't you break it down for us?
Okay, I think it's gonna be White Sox, Twins make it as a wild card spot,
Really?
and then
Okay.
Twins, and then the Royals third, Indians fourth, and then Tigers fifth.
Wow. That's again a great breakdown. I like the Kansas City Royals. It's always been one of my favorite teams. They just don't have a lot of talent in Kansas City.
They got
Besi-
Bobby Witt Jr.
He's supposed to be there this year, and Whit Merrifield.
Yeah,
Who do you like there? Is it? Do you like Bobby Witt Jr. or
yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. He's got everything. He's a five-tool player in my eyes. And Whit Merrifield, he's really good. Soler is really good. Dozier could sometimes be good. They signed Carlos Santana.
right? And made the trade
Yeah,
with the Red Sox for Benedina or whatever you say.
Benintendi.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here to correct my pronunciation of these names. I struggle with them, I'm telling you. So, did you say you're going White Sox to win, Twins
Yes.
for a wild card? All
Yes.
right. All right, the last division we'll finish up here. The LA East. And I mean, it is the Yankees are a huge favorite, but also the Rays and the Blue Jays, and especially the Blue Jays adding Springer and that young talent. Break it down for us, buddy.
All right. Yankees are gonna win the division. Blue Jays make a wild card spot.
Okay.
I know the Rays was in the World Series last year, but they did lose Blake Snell. So
That's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot out of your team if you lose Blake Snell.
Do you think that I think the Yankees right now are the best team, but a couple years down the road, I really think that with Bouchette, Biggio, Guerrero, now
Yeah, they're gonna take
Springer,
over. They're gonna take over.
yeah, it's going to be the Blue Jays are going to make a serious run at some point.
Yeah. In 2019, they were like in fourth place. Now they're contending for the postseason.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's absolutely crazy, and there's so much young talent there. All right, so our wild card then, the Minnesota Twins versus the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh boy. I think Kenta Maeda is gonna start for the Twins.
Yeah, and he's one of my favorite pitchers.
Yeah, and then Blue Jays are probably they're gonna start. Let me think of the Blue Jays. Who are they start?
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking the same thing right now. It. Um, Let me pull up my MLB rosters here and
Yeah,
see.
I can't remember.
They have the Korean pitcher. What's his name? Rin.
Hyunjin Ryu. That's who they're starting.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing about it. He's really now. I tell you, who's on their staff I like, and he's finally out of Colorado, and I think might see some more.
Colorado.
Yeah, Tyler Chatwood.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Tyler Chatwood.
he's there. Um,
Well, he's out of
also
Chicago.
out of Chicago. You're right. Stephen Montz is there. But yeah, I think it's clear it's Ren. Minnesota, okay. Toronto.
Okay, let me think about this one. Man. Twins have a lot of power. They got Nelson Cruz.
Donaldson.
They got a bunch of power bats. The Blue Jays, they have a bunch of young talent. And they have George Springer. Boy, this one. Blue Jays have young talent. And they got Buxton.
This is a tough one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Blue Jays.
Blue Jays. So then we would have probably, who would you think would have the best record? The Yankees?
Yeah, Yankees.
Yankees and Blue Jays in round 2.
Yankees and Blue Jays, round 2.
Yes.
Good thing they're not starting Ryu though, because then it'd be a righty lefty matchup.
Nightmare.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. I wouldn't go Mats. I'd say the Yankees win it.
Yankees win it. Now let's go get the other side settled up. We went, I believe you went out west with the Astros and the White Sox in the Central.
Astros, White Sox.
Yes.
Okay. The Astros have Altuve and Bregman. And they have McCullers and they don't have Verlander in just yet.
No, and they don't know if Vermil will be back. I think they're still waiting on his broken finger to see if he'll be able to go.
Yeah. He probably will, though. Framber Valdez. Framber.
Yep.
And then the White Sox, they have Lucas Giolito. They have Giolito. They're going to be starting Giolito.
Yeah, and I want to pick the White Sox, but it's hard to do. I'll probably go White Sox. How about you, Ray?
White Sox.
All right.
They lost Springer. I mean, you can't lose Springer.
Then
you can't lose Springer on the Astros. I mean, you just can't.
No, and I think Altuve bounces back with a good year, and I think Correa has a good year. So then we're Yankees, White Sox.
Oh.
In the LCS.
ALCS. Wow. Man, that's tough. The White Sox have a lot of. They got to be starting a righty. So
Probably Hendricks.
no, he's on the Cubs.
No, Lehman Hendricks. And,
Lynn, he's a closer.
I meant Lance Lynn. I'm looking at my list wrong.
Lance Lynn. Okay. Who the Yankees going to be starting? They're probably starting Tyone.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees move on.
All right, World Series, and it would be a dream World Series. Oh, let's not get there. LA MVP. I had Mike Trout. How about you?
Mike Trout.
Cy Young. Who do you like there?
Cy Young for the AL. Okay, let me think about this one.
It's a big debate to me. You got Cole, Giolito, and Bieber. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those.
I'll go Cole.
All right, and then we already said the kid from Seattle as the Rookie of the Year. So now here's the pressure: Yankees, White Sox.
Yankees, White Sox.
Yes.
I think the Yankees are going to move on.
Yankees, Dodgers.
Yes.
7 games.
Ooh.
In October. Ray, do you take the New York Yankees or the LA Dodgers?
This is tough. Yankees, Dodgers.
I asked the tough questions, buddy.
Oh boy. Is anybody telling you on like any of the broadcasting? Like, can people tell you
what? I can see them chat. There's a lot of people chatting to you. Lacey Gill, Johnny Barker, Chris, Ray. Don't forget about the Red Sox. Ray wants an opinion out there. Everybody watching. Dodgers or Yankees?
Dodgers or Yankees, everybody.
Dodgers or Yankees? We'll give everybody a second, Ray. And
oh boy, I know Chris is gonna hate me about this because he doesn't like the Yankees because he's a Red Sox fan, but he also doesn't like the Dodgers because they faced each other in the 2018 series.
All right, so here we go. We got Miss Gill. We got Lacey Gill with the Dodgers. You better listen to this one from your mom. She said she said the Yankees, Ray. So
oh boy.
So we've gotten a couple of Dodgers, a couple of Yankees. But I'm telling you, I'm going with your mom because I'm scared of her. So I'll go Yankees.
I'm going with the Dodgers.
Oh, I hope you don't have, Mom. I'm so sorry. I agreed with you. All right, Ray, that was a lot of fun. But before we want to get out of here, we got about 15 minutes. That was so much fun. Man, are you going to come back and do this again sometime? Because I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to come back.
All right, man. Maybe next time we'll have some games to talk about and what's going on in the season. So I ask you something. I'm putting all my notes down. I just want to talk a few minutes. I ask you to come up with a player, and I think baseball is the greatest. By nature, I love football, and your dad knows that, your mom knows that, but something about being a young baseball fan. When I was your age, baseball was the king. And then I expected you, when I asked you to ask for a legend of the game, I expected you to say Chris Bryant or somebody that's a kind of a modern player. But you went back to Ryan Sandberg. So tell me what you like about Ryan Sandberg.
Well, I thought whenever he played, I thought he was a really all-around player. I thought he was a really good, really good second baseman.
Won Gold Gloves.
Yeah, he won 9 Gold Gloves, 7 Silver Sluggers, MVP, and he had a 68 Baseball Reference WAR.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and he also had 282 home runs, so that's a lot.
And
And
back then, you didn't get 282 home runs out of a
yeah,
second
you
baseman.
didn't. You probably got like 50.
Yeah.
Also, I think he got a job at a broadcasting
Yeah,
place
your mom.
today.
Yeah, he is going to be on. And I did just put my phone down. Let me pull that up.
I can't remember what it's called though.
He got a job today. He is going to be on Chicago Cubs. Ryan Sandberg hired as Marquee Sports Network.
Marquee. Yeah, Marquee.
And you know, he's 61 years old. He's
Yeah.
been a manager. What I remember about Ryan Sandberg, I'm going to tell you that what I Googled after we talked. He has a foundation called Rhino's Kids. And what has done for years is donate and raise money for a charity for kids that are sick to make kind of a make a wish and get the kids treatment. So there's no doubt that Ryan Sandberg was a really, really good person too. And
Yeah.
someone like a kid could look up to, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's a really good person. Like you just said, he had a foundation where he'd help everybody, and he was a really good baseball player. So put those together, and you get a really successful person.
Yeah. And your granddad, I think, is a huge Cubs fan too, right?
Yes, yes,
So, does he tell you stories of Ryan Sandberg
yeah. He did.
and is that how you become a Cubs fan?
Um, yeah, pretty much.
Do you remember or have you heard anybody talk about Ryan Sandberg and the fact that he was a Philly that got
Yeah,
traded to the
yeah.
Cubs?
I know
Have
about
you
that.
heard have you heard that
Yes,
story?
yeah.
And I bet you the Phillies. How do you think they felt after they seen him become a 9-time Gold Glover and a 7-time Silver Slugger Award winner?
Yeah, they probably feel really bad about what they did.
Yeah, they liked him having him back then, wasn't they?
Yeah.
He
Um
would go ahead.
yeah, I mean, they probably feel bad about what they did, honestly.
Well, he later became a major league manager too.
Yeah.
So, have you ever thought about you wanted to be in baseball, or do you just like playing, or what do you think when you grow up you'd like to do?
I'd probably like to play baseball.
Really?
Yeah, I want to play baseball because
Uh,
like it's just the game that it's fun. You just get to do what I love, and yeah,
I, I,
that's why I'm on this team.
I,
Chickamauga Cannons. That's why I'm on there.
I've already predicted that you were going to make a Major League World Series winning manager someday. So after you retire, you'll get to be a
Manager.
manager. Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to talk about, Ray? We got a couple of minutes. So, is there anything that you want to tell the folks out there? Do you want to invite them to one of your games sometime?
Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, come to my games. You
Where do
watch.
y'all play at? Chickamauga?
Yeah, we're playing Chickamauga,
Okay.
playing Dave McNally,
Uh,
and I'm gonna talk about the team back there. You see it?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna talk about the team and how I want bounce back seasons from a bunch of players.
Let's hear it.
All right. Well, okay. We're gonna start at catcher. Wilson Contreras. I feel like he's gonna hit 20 to 30 home runs and have a cannon behind the plate. First base, Anthony Rizzo. Okay, he's gonna hit 30 home runs, like 100 something RBIs, 290 batting average, and like a 900 OPS. That's what he does every single year. Okay, second, we got Nico Horner. He's a highly talented prospect, and he's probably gonna have a pretty good year.
He's a lot of hype on Nico Horner.
Yeah. Shortstop, we obviously have Baez. Yeah, I want a bounce back season from him just because he's a cornerstone to this team in general. Yeah, I'm expecting great defense because that's what he does every year. And maybe
Okay, go ahead.
okay, Chris Bryant had a bad year in 2020. That was because of the 60-game schedule. I'm expecting a bounce back season just because he does it every year. And this year was just a weird year. And yeah, I'm expecting a bounce back season.
You gonna
Bryant.
give us a prediction on Chris Bryant? Home
Um,
runs?
yeah, probably. He's probably going to hit 30 to 35 homers, maybe a 900 OPS and 270 batting average.
Okay.
Okay. Left field, we got Jock Peterson. He's been doing really good in spring training. Hopefully, we get that from him whenever we go into the regular season.
Is that the old Dodger?
Yeah, it's the old Dodger.
Okay.
Yeah, but that outfield's just stacked, so they don't really need Jock Peterson. But we do need Jock Peterson because we lost Schwarber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm expecting maybe 30 home runs again, 850 OPS, and 250 batting average.
Wow, that'd be a good year for Jock Peterson, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because he's doing really good in spring training.
Yep.
Center field, I think Ian Happ. He did really good in 2019 and 2020.
Really good.
Yeah, I'm just expecting an 800 or 825 OPS. Maybe 20, 25 homers, 270 batting average. Yeah, he's a really good player.
He's my fantasy center fielder.
He is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's going to have a big year too.
Yeah. And then in right field, we have Jason Hayward. He had a really good season in 2020. But in 2019, he wasn't that bad. It's just not Jason Hayward like. He's probably gonna have a 800 OPS, maybe 20 home runs, and 265 batting average. And then the pitching, we got Hendricks. He's probably gonna have like around 3 ERA or something like that because that's what he does every year. What else we got in there? I can't really remember because
You may pull up the Cubs rotation for you.
Yes, that'd be helpful.
All right. I'm here. Talk about that bullpen while I'm pulling up the rotation.
Okay, bullpen. The bullpen's pretty much dead. We don't got much in there. Can't really think of anybody in there.
All right. Cubs meet the 2021 Cubs rotation. And it's pulling up. But you are hitting it right. The Cubs are going to struggle for pitching.
Yes.
Hendricks, Arrieta.
Arrieta. Wait, Arrieta?
Yeah.
Arrieta?
Jake Arrieta.
Really? I thought he was on the Phillies.
Yeah, he's back.
Oh. Okay.
Zach Davies.
Zach Davies. He's
Alec.
gonna have a good season.
Yeah, I think Zach Davies is too. Alec Mills.
He's gonna have like a 3.5 ERA probably. Then Zach Davies, he's probably gonna have like a 4.
And then the fifth is kind of wide open. Trevor Williams is a contender, and some guy named, I'll let you say it. His last name is spelled ALZ.
Azalea.
Azalea, yes.
Azalea, he has a lot of talent, like we saw, just because he's he's a prospect. So I'm not expecting like a really good season because he just came out.
Right.
So Azalea, he's probably gonna have like he did in 2019, probably like a 4 ERA or something like that. But I'm not really expecting anything for his first season.
And of course, the closer will be Kimbrel.
Yeah, Kimbrel. Hopefully he isn't regular Cubs Kimbrel because
he struggled in Chicago.
Yeah, he gave up some bombs.
And then round out that bullpen, Dylan Maples, Rex Brothers, Jonathan Holder, Pedro Strop. So the Cubs, I think they'll hit a ton, like you say, but I struggle with them pitching.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking with the Cubs.
So we've hit Ryan Sandberg, we've hit the Cubs. We've covered all the American and National League. Here's what it's left up to, Ray. Bring us home and tell us what the 20 baseball season will look like.
Like, what do you mean by that?
The 21 baseball season. Is it going to be? It's going to be a fun season. Is it going to be different now?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. You got a bunch of fun players that are doing like a lot of fun things.
Right.
Like Tatis. He just brings electricity to baseball.
Right.
Like,
great young player.
Yeah, he's on the cover of MLB The Show 21. I mean, he's basically the face of baseball right now. They got Tim Anderson just doing his thing, bat flipping on everybody.
Yeah. Well, Ray, I appreciate you joining us. We're just about out of time. Folks, we'll schedule up another one of these. As I've told you, Ray is one of the best baseball men I know. He helps me be a better baseball man. So, Ray, I appreciate you coming on. Thank your mom and dad for letting me have an hour of your time. And before we jump off, you're in the 6th grade now all of a sudden, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Skipped ahead a little bit on me.
Yeah.
And you're doing it at the University of Missouri?
Yes. Yeah. It's a great opportunity for me to get a lot more better education.
Right. I'm really proud of you, buddy. And I'm proud. I'm really proud you and I became friends, man.
Yeah.
You make me smile every day. And every time we talk, I smile and I get it. You just a ball of joy, man. And I appreciate you being on River City Media. And we'll do it again real soon, okay?
Okay.
All right, buddy. Well, till next time. Ray and Randall on River City Media. And we'll be back at 8 o'clock with Raj and with Robbie and the basketball reset of the brackets. But I'm sorry, Robbie and Raj, you got a lot to live up to after Ray. I see a theme here, too. Ray, Randall, Raj, and Robbie all on River City. A lot of R's going on, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Tell your mom and dad I said thank you for letting you be on. Yeah. I sure appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, buddy.
Okay, let me hit this button real quick. Okay, I'm going to hit the button. 3, 2, 1.